Well, good morning. I can't open the door. I'm back. I was going to say welcome back, but you guys never really left. I left, so tell me welcome back.
Welcome back.
There we go. All right. Well, Kyle just started his dream job today. Not last week, today, because
I thought we were going to spend all day together running the sprayer.
Yeah.
I was going to tend you.
Well, nothing's ever as planned. So, ended up getting an unexpected, 3 tenths just about everywhere this morning. So, now that we actually have a little bit of moisture in the ground, 3 tenths goes a little further than it used to. Dad's going to run around this morning, check some field, because there's still a possibility we might be able to run. But, new week. Dustin is back in the semi, able to continue hauling, so we've got to get the leg cleaned out again and get that overhead topped up for him. So we'll see you guys at Jipville. Alright, let's go ahead and clean this out while he's loading. Kill power to the legs so we don't take water up with us. And let's see what we get out of it. Uh-oh. Ruh-roh, Raggy. Ah. Might help to have power to it. Stuff smells lovely coming out of there, doesn't it?
It was when I scooped it up the other day.
Yeah. Guess there wasn't much in there, but we wanted to check before we filled the leg back up with corn. Some nasty corn in there. All right, well, you guys are going to make me be optimistic because nobody likes a negative person on camera. So, I'm going to update you guys on what just happened in the last 15 minutes. So, Kyle and I were loading Dustin, and I noticed that the corn was kind of piling weird. It was piling way too upright, if you want to call it, for 15-16% corn. So, got in the truck, checked it, and it's warm. Way warmer than it should be. So it was right then, you know, something's not right. Ended up checking all of our monitoring system. Long story short, I don't know why it didn't update us sooner or send us an alarm or whatnot, but our big bin is getting hot spots in it. Which, if you guys don't know what that means, it means that the corn is rising in temperature on its own and it's starting to go bad. So we're switching gears a little bit. Instead of Dustin hauling by himself, we're going to go ahead and get 2, maybe 3, probably just 2 trucks, because the elevator we're going to now is a lot closer, and hopefully we can get 4 or 5, maybe 6 loads a day per guy, and get this corn out of this bin until we're comfortable with what the temps are showing. Kyle and Dad took off and they're going to get the other truck. I'm going to go ahead and get started pulling out of this bin on its own. We're not going to blend anything. We're just going to pull everything out of this bin until we get past this hot corn. So I climbed up here seeing if I could give you guys a picture of what the inside of the bin looks like, but way too dark in there. I went ahead and turned on both of the big fans. Try and push some of that heat out. But it's a double-edged sword doing that, because yes, it's getting the heat out from top, but it's also pushing 80-degree air in on, I think the bottom level is still in the mid-50s. So you're pushing hot air in onto cool corn. And as humid it is right now, that's going to make that air condensate and put a little bit of moisture back into that bottom level. So we're not going to run it very long, just as much as we have to help get some of that heat out a little faster. All right, Dad showed up with the truck. We got it loaded. Looks like I'm going to be the one running it. And actually, I'm going to have a passenger today.
Yeah, buddy.
So, your outside handle is still open. It took me forever to figure out that. So push it shut, and then there we go. So Kyle is going to get a crash course on hauling grain on a very stressful morning. So we'll see how it goes. Oh, there goes Dustin. He's headed back with his second load already. Kyle and I made it through, no problem. The damage was a little elevated, but nothing. We didn't even get docked for it, so we're still well within our limits. Hopefully that continues, and the next few loads will tell us a lot as the hot corn on top starts getting pulled down through the core, making its way through the hoppers. We'll just have to keep hauling and see what we find. Not terrible. Yeah. 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 So I don't think you guys can hear any of that. Corn still feels pretty good. But that hot nasty stuff has got to come through at some point. We're pulling out of a 60-foot bin, so it's going to take a few loads to get that through. We're just waiting on that to happen. We're off again.
Where are we going?
I don't know. This time? Let's go somewhere different this time.
Just give it to somebody.
No, unfortunately it doesn't work that way. It's nice hauling to this elevator since it's so close, but on the other hand, it's so close that it gets very monotonous very quickly.
Back and forth,
back and forth. Over and over, which is efficient because you can get a lot of grain hauled with only 2 trucks. But it also increases your chances of falling asleep. Just kidding, it was a joke.
I might take a nap.
He might fall asleep though.
Wake me up when we get there.
Yeah. He's like, I got this driving thing down. Just wake me up when we.
This is easy.
Just wake me up when we get there. We'll do what the we'll be one of those team drivers. We'll just rotate. Yeah. We can each get our naps in for the day.
Just 12-hour shifts. Sleep 12, work 12.
I was thinking rotating each trip. You sleep this trip,
I'll sleep this 12.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll work the night shift.
Yeah. Ain't I'm not working no night shift. All right, back for load number 3. Looking at the front, I think I'm gonna let the dust die down a little bit. But watching it up front before I pulled forward this last time, I thought it looked like it was starting to pile weird again like the very first load did. So I'm gonna check it here real quick, see if we're getting into some of that hot corn. And of course the wind dies down completely.
Christmas in July.
Christmas in July, he says. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, definitely some heat. Let's see if... Can you guys see that? That's what we don't like to see. So, we're finally getting that unhealthy stuff pulled through. So, now it's just how many loads does it take to stop seeing it? Alright, well, we made it. Moment of truth. See if we get rejected or not. I don't think we will. I don't think it was that bad, but...
We need a green light. I don't know if they can see that from there.
Oh, there's the first good sign. We got a green light. Now when we pull up here on the scale, if they tell us to proceed to the east pit, we know we're good.
If they call us on the phone,
Yeah.
we got a problem.
If they yell at us on the CB, that's not good.
East pit. How big was it?
Let's see what kind of damage that one was.
What's your guess? I'm going 4.4.
I'm gonna say high 3/8. I'm gonna say it didn't change much. 1.4.
How?
It's our best.
How is that?
Hey, do not question the ticket. That's our best load yet.
We're a little wet, 15.3.
No, that's perfect. I'll take it. All right, well, hopefully they all turn out like that. All right, well, we just loaded the 8th truck. Dad's been running the overhead for a little bit, so let's guesstimate about 10,000 bushels we've pulled out of this today. As far as our monitoring system goes, looks like we've moved a large chunk of the hot temperatures out. Definitely dropped our grain level quite a bit. Now, we have everything shut off. There's 2 guys down below. And that's the only reason I feel comfortable getting in this bin right now. Because, as most of you know, this is where most of your farming accidents happen, is inside a grain bin. So let me get down in there. Let's check this corn, see if it looks any better than it did this morning. Well, I can tell you that it's 90 degrees outside, and I think our cables say it's about 113 in here, and I absolutely believe it. But as far as the grain itself, I'm not sure we're quite there yet. It looks a lot better than it did this morning. Ah, here we go. Okay, this is cold grain. Ah, you can tell the difference. See how light that is? This grain is cold. You can actually tell. Check this out. This side, we're 2.5 rings off the top. Over there, we're about 1.5 rings at most, maybe a little less. Over there is where it's still not sliding very good, and walking in it, it's still pretty warm. I think we need to pull one more hopper load, which would be about 4,000 bushels, and I think we'll should be looking pretty good. But we're this close, but I'm not quite comfortable with it yet.
Well, we'll send them on their way for the last load today. They'll be back here in a little bit to load for morning. I think Dustin can make it and get another load in yet tonight. I think he's on his way back. So we'll get him loaded. We'll top off the overhead and have it ready for morning. See what that bin looks like after we get another 5,000 bushels out of it. It's getting better.
Well, good morning. Today is day number 2 of trying to avoid bin catastrophe. I'm running behind this morning. Dustin's already on the road, so Dustin, kudos to you. You made it out quicker than I did, but I have a good reason. I was getting some videos uploaded for you guys, and my computer was being a little slow, so things took a little longer than they usually do. So I ended up watching our OPI system, which, if I didn't explain what that was earlier, that is our monitoring system for our grain bins. Kind of figured a few things out. The reason it didn't notify us of this problem developing is for some reason the sensors that were in the hot corn aren't showing in the grain. So it's thinking they're just ambient sensors, which we don't really care about. So that is why it didn't notify us. What I'm still not sure of is why it was saying those sensors were not in the grain. So we're going to have to do a little investigating on that and figuring out why. Alright, well, I'm loaded with the last load out of that big bin. Figured I'd come up here and check this one like I did the other one before we start pulling out of it. Talk slow, act like I'm not loaded from just climbing up a couple flights of stairs. Alright, I'm headed in! I think the camera should have adjusted by now. Corn feels cold here in the center. Ooh, yeah. Doesn't take you far off the center and you can start feeling the heat. Yeah, I don't think it's anything that won't flow. It's just warm. We just got to get it pulled out. So I think we'll do the same plan of attack with this bin as we did the previous one. But got some hitting about V3.
No good.
No.
Good boy. I was about ready. I'm like, we got. You know, I'm already.
I know. No, center's cold. Center feels good.
Yeah.
Outside you can tell it's warm. You can dig through it.
You don't see anything.
Nothing's growing. I don't see anything. you can kind of see a little bit of like the moldish type right by the door.
Yeah. We'll start.
Yeah, I think personally I think it looks better than that bit.
Okay.
So.
That's pretty close.
Got it?
Yeah. There's always housekeeping that can be done. Whether it's here, whether it's the shop. Always something that can be cleaned up.
All right, well, we had a pretty good day hauling. I got 6 loads in. I think Dustin got 8 or 7. Both trucks are loaded for morning here. We've made some pretty good progress on this bin. It was actually a little worse than we thought. Let's see if I can get the camera to adjust, but you can see that there was a pretty good layer of bad corn. Some of it was actually even moldy, starting to sprout. So, this is all good corn now. We're past what was bad. That darker area right in there is the last bit that we're fighting with. Unfortunately, the good grain is sliding a lot easier than that bad spot. So what we've decided to do is run it a little bit, shut everything down, scoop as much of the bad stuff to the middle as we can, start it back up, repeat the process until that's gone. Get to do a little bit of physical exercise today. Couldn't record much while I was shoveling because shoveling's one thing I haven't figured out how to do with one hand yet. Not to mention I had a mask on because once I started messing with that moldy stuff, not stuff I like to breathe in. So, scooped out the majority that I could right into the center. I think that we're down to where that was the majority of it. Now it's just filling the overhead, letting that center pull down again and figuring out what we got left. Just left Jitville. Guys all went home, except for Dad. Dad hung out over there, or is hanging out over there to get that hopper topped off for Dustin tomorrow. That last time I kind of scooped inside the bin, looked like it made a pretty good difference. Things were flowing more like they should. So pretty sure that hopper will finish that bin as far as the marginal corn. And we can go back to hauling our normal contracts. Definitely some sketchy moments hauling the past couple days. Hot corn, moldy corn, bad corn, some sprouted corn against the bin edges. So we got lucky. Wish we'd have caught it sooner, but hey, I think it blended well enough that we didn't get docked at the elevator for any loads. So that's a huge blessing. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Find that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't. If you stuck around this long through the video, I mean, it's a no-brainer. So, hey, as always, guys, see you in the next one.